Let's listen from Keras Labs, from Dimitri from Keras Labs a little bit on how to avoid this kind of disputes and when we have them, how to resolve them. Thank you, Dimitri, for being here.
Thank you very much. Hi again. I know that I am the only obstacle between you and pizza after, so I will brief you in a decentralized dispute resolution. You already heard about it a few minutes ago from Joanna, from Christiana, from me also in the panel, what happens if something goes wrong about these matters. I'm currently in this project about Keras Labs. We provide the best legislation for DAOs. We help you for KYC, also help people, the newcomers, help find banking, especially in Bankless DAO. Peacekeepers Advisor. These are the disputes in DAOs. I will mention a few: social layers, technical disputes, multisigs, hacks. I think many of you heard about stories about hacking and going RAG, and many things about this. This is just a temperature check. We all already know how we like things, what we like make us become a DAO contributor, or what make us live from a DAO. These are okay personal thoughts or personal willings, but not many people hear about the legal entity in a DAO project. This is because many people don't care about it. So, the most important things to do before you enter a DAO or before you go to be a contributor in DAOs is just make the simple question if the DAO has a legal entity. Because we can all ask, is code really a law? No, it's not a law, because smart contracts are written by people. And because they're written by people, they have flaws, either intentional or not intentional. But the thing is that there are flaws already out there. Let me skip this. So, let me tell you about some benefits of the decentralized dispute resolution in DAOs. As you see, it's cost reduction, because if we use the traditional way to go to courts, pay lawyers, all things about it, we can't achieve nothing. It takes years to resolve issues. We have accessibility and inclusion. Everyone is treated equal. That is also the fundamentals of democracy, also in Athens, in Greece, but in DAOs also. No one is above something. Everyone should be treated equally. Like a no-central authority, transparency and immutability, of course, expertise and specialization, efficiency and speed. Maybe you can ask me, okay, some examples about not DAOs having legal entities. What happened? These are some lessons we learn about it. That's why we are here. We talk about dispute resolution. We talk about legal entities. We talk about all I think DAOs should have a governance. It's like when you go to Web2 and open in Greece we have this, I think it's in global. You open a site or a website, anything. The first thing that appears is the terms and conditions. So you see, everybody should have this, not terms and conditions, like a governance. And these are some examples that DAOs didn't have legal entities. You can search in Google for them, so you learn about more details about it. It's not the time to say something about it. the thing about the lawyers, Christiana, okay, she was here. I don't know you're here, okay. Not all lawyers make great meditators. I mean, the best thing is, example is Christiana. She's also a Web3 lawyer, so she knows many things about solving cases between a DAO to find the best solution, because a lawyer needs, it's a train either to win, either to lose. He's not a mediator. Maybe he can be, but this is another story. That's all for me. It didn't take too much, so thank you all for being here, and enjoy the pizza after.